All right, so I did it. This was a $1,000 account challenge account that I made back in April. So it hasn't even been a year. We're at 9 to 10 months, and my goal was to grow at 100%. I've done this multiple times, and it's always following a strategy. It's not something skill based. Day trading and swing trading, yeah, that's cool. It's entertaining to watch, but not everyone can do that. It's kind of like watching something in the Olympics. It's like, yeah, that's all skill. Not everybody can do that, but it's entertaining. This everyone can do. The wheel. I'm running the wheel on stocks that have options that have a high probability of not hitting a strike. I pick a strike where a stock won't go, and I sell a put. If it hits that strike, I'm forced to buy the shares. Great. I'll then sell a call on it at a higher price. If it goes up, then someone buys the shares from me more than I bought them for. If I don't want to buy the stock, I roll it down to I roll the position into a further out expiration, lower strike, and then when it shoots back up or runs neutral and flat, that contract expires worthless, and that profit is mine. On the buy side, when it expires worthless, you lose. On the sell side, that's a win. So it's like taking candy from a baby. Betting on stocks with high implied volatility, the higher the IV is, the more the options contracts are priced. So the further out of the money I can sell. If it's further out of the money, then that means I have a higher probability of it not hitting that strike price. So you can assume, I think it's 78% of options contracts in the U.S. Markets expire worthless every month. So if we're going 50% out of the money, what's your probability? If you're on the buy side, if you're trading monthlies, you have an 80% chance of loss. If you're trading weeklies, it's probably around 95%. You're probably not going to take profits when it's green, and when it's red, you're going to hold it till it expires worthless, right? Hoping and praying. You're gambling, and it's not going to work. Playing earnings isn't going to work either. I'm on the sell side for earnings. So all you dingbats on the buy side for earnings, buying options thinking you're going to make money, I'm the one selling them. When they get IV crush, premium crush, that money comes to me. I make that money. You can be the house too. You don't have to be the guy at the slot machine where it's programmed to lose. You just need to learn a strategy. So if you guys want to learn my strategy, you can come into the Discord below. There's a link in the bio. I have done this. I started this because, again, I wanted to show people how easy it can be if you're following a strategy. Let's see. So we had over here, I'm going to briefly go over what I did. I was selling puts on AMC all throughout here, all the way up until here. Then I walked away from it. Let's take a look at AMC. So from April 4th all the way till around early August. Okay, and a lot of people that were following me and watching this, they gave up. Instead of, here, let's go ahead and look at this. So every time, where's April? Here we go, here's April right over in here. This is when AMC was low. They had good news out that they wouldn't dilute the shares with the preferred shares. So there was a court case, and it came out in favor of not the AMC preferred shareholders, but the common stock here, the regular shareholders. So I sold puts betting that it wouldn't go lower instead of buying calls, which will get IV crushed. If I would have bought calls, it probably wouldn't have made anything at all. It would have went up and you would have been like, what? It ripped. How did I not make money? But me over here, being smart on the sell side, betting that it won't go down. See, if you buy a put, you want it to go down. If you sell a put, you want it to go up or remain neutral. I sold puts, and that's why the growth on the account right here matches what happened on AMC. It went vertical. From April 4th to April 10th, it went up pretty much 10%. That's beating the stock market, right? April 4th to April 10th. Look at that pop right there. Those contracts expired worthless. We came down, created a little flag. I sold more puts, and it ripped again. I waited for it to come down. I sold more puts. It dropped heavily. I sold more puts. We had a nice rip up. Made a lot more money. Kept selling puts. Uh-oh. And it dropped. Does that look familiar? Right there. So I was in my main portfolio, I was assigned this little rip up right here. It premium crushed the options contracts. You could have gotten out for minimal loss. I did. I could have held it for the assignment, which I did on some of the shares. But the rest of the options contracts, I moved forward. I moved on. I accepted it was a loss. Did it matter? Did it really matter after I went from, even with a loss, we're at 36% gains from April to August. April, in 4 months. So that's almost 10% a month. That's pretty freaking good. That's really good. So by the time we're in, so then what did I do to recover the account? I want high probability setups. This account is for high probability setups. I said, okay, what's something I'm pretty much 100% for sure on? Well, ARM was going to IPO, and so was Instacart. There's my money back. Boom. I threw the portfolio. I was, in some other cash secured puts, and I was like, this is pointless right now. ARM's probably going to be, semis are hot, chips are hot. Instacart's a big company. It's well known. I never see these big companies that IPO. They hardly ever don't make money. Like if you were to get in for the IPO. The second they're released onto the market, you can dump it. And that's what I did. And guess what? I recovered the account. So at the high over here, we're at 50%. Now we're at 56. Great. We're in September, so I'm selling puts. Novavax is giving me issues. It's bouncing all around. And let's see what happened with Novavax, NVAX. Novavax had been paying this account. A lot of this was Novavax too, selling the 2.5 puts. When it was at $7, I'm over here betting that it's not going to hit 2.5. When it would drop down like this, it would make the IV on the 2.5s for January shoot up to around 40 cents. I'm getting a $40 return on $250 just in like 3.5 months. That is a massive percentage gain. That is big. You're talking about what, 80% APY with a probability of it's like, in my mind, it's pretty much a 0% chance it's going to get hit 2.5. And guess what? It didn't. And I got paid. But I was eventually assigned on Novavax. Yeah, I could have kept wheeling it. In my opinion, Novavax is going to be just fine. Look at the chart. Shot up to, $300 and something on another chart, shorter time frame. It actually was, but it was a short period, so it didn't really document it here. And now it's down again. Looks like a great place to be assigned Novavax shares. And when it shoots back up, I can sell calls on it, right? But I want a higher probability setup. There's a Bitcoin spot ETF, a possible SEC approval. BlackRock's involved. And if it doesn't work out, there's a Bitcoin halving. I kind of don't want it to work out so I can scale in more crypto. And that's supposed to happen anywhere between January and early 2024. So between January and February is what they're saying. Regardless, it doesn't matter. There's a Bitcoin halving, meaning there's going to be less supply dumped on the market. It happens every 4 years, and Bitcoin runs every 4 years. So, and then everyone buys in at the top. They lose money, and then they walk away from it, and then they buy at the top again. They keep doing that. I'm the one buying pre-halving, right before the halving. And I bet... what about a company that, did I buy Bitcoin? No. What about a company that mines Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin goes up 4 to 5x. The company's worth 4 to 5 times more. And people are going to start buying it before that happens. They're going to wait for that to happen. They're going to buy it before it happens so they can sell it when it happens. People don't understand how the market works. When we were in COVID, they're like, I don't understand. Supply chains are down. Why is the market going up? Well, it's not going to be... The supply chains aren't going to be down forever, so you're going to wait for them to open and then buy? Or are you going to buy them before it happens? It's logic. It's logic. No, the market isn't rigged. You don't understand it. Oh my goodness, look at Mara, 341%. I bought shares on this account for the purpose where? Right here. Right in here somewhere. I bought shares. So if we want to just look at it over the month, now, if it went down, it doesn't matter. I would have sold calls on it. I can sell calls on it. Total return, $603. Did I get lucky? No, this is not luck. It's high probability. It's a game of probability. What has the highest probability? And I'm not talking about in 5 minutes. I'm talking about if I'm wrong, well, I can just hold it and eventually I'll be right. Right? It's a game of probability. If I'm going to be on the buy side of and we can just take a look. What happened tomorrow? Last Bitcoin halving. Well, it happened in May. April, May. Here was the Bitcoin halving. We saw a little bump of money come in, and halving it usually takes about 6 to 7 months before it starts running. And we went from what? A low of 43 cents to what? $75. So you about 160x your money if you held to the top, which you wouldn't have. No one's going to time it perfectly. You can get close to it. If it forms a shooting star or something like that, bearish RSI divergence, you can get just about around the top. So, yeah, you can time this. Oh, I don't have a crystal ball. What, am I going to time the market? Yes, you're going to time the market. When it's it's things that run off a calendar where it does the same thing every 4 years, how can you not? If you're saying that, you just are not educated enough. And this is also why I started this 1K account challenge and put it out to the public. If I'm wrong, I'm going to look like an idiot with my reputation on the line. Was I wrong? No, I did it right. And it's not luck. And I can do it again and again, and I can show you. And I even have the trade history of other portfolios that I have grown 100%. $1,000 account challenges. Why 1,000? It's not as impressive when I'm growing a $100,000 account to, 150,000. That's not as impressive. It's impressive with the risk, right? But it's easier because if you make mistakes, you have money to cover up those mistakes. If I'm trading with 10%, 30%, 40% of the portfolio, I'm trading with a $1,000 account challenge. I make one mistake at off the rip at start. When I start it, I may not be getting back on the horse if I fall off. So it is impressive. Yeah, there's not much more risk, but it's impressive because you have to be right. You can make unlimited gains, but you only have so much you can lose, and then you can't trade anymore to make it back. I believe Mara should be, by the time that there's a Bitcoin halving, should be around 30 bucks, 20 to 30 bucks. We're only at 15 now. It's just getting started. There was short covering back in July, and Bitcoin wasn't as high, and it was at 18. We're only at 15. I also bought BTBT. And I'm going to be selling calls as a mean to exit this whenever I believe it's the top. BTBT, we're up 12% in 2 days. I got it in on Thursday. This is up 36%. It was 39 cents before the Bitcoin halving last time and went to $21. And then recently it was December of 2022, 60 cents, and now we're at $3. Even right there you're making money. It was at 4 before. Great thing to run the wheel on, in my opinion. I can sell puts as a means to enter and sell calls as a mean to exit. Probability. If I'm going to be on the buy side of options, what am I going to constantly every week just buy a weekly on Apple when it only goes up forever? No! It's simple. Probability. 2026. I can pick one. Okay. Oh, well, not everyone has, $2,000. Cool. Great. Good point. I'll sell a call against it. $500. There we go. It's simple. It's very simple. Again, I'm going to say it one more time. Look, my account's up even more. We're at 113%. We're at 115% now. Probability. It's a game of probability. If you want to learn from me, you want to learn more, come in the Discord, send a message to Bullwinkle. In the green, you'll see green bubbles on my trades and my channels. Send me a message. If you guys like this content, make sure to like and follow for more. Again, this post was to celebrate, or this video was to celebrate the accomplishment of me completing the $1,000 account challenge.